right. Welcome back to the Beast Game Podcast. And today we're talking about Jurassic World Dominion, which is the third of this new Jurassic. What the heck was that? Jurassic World. First one that was more along the lines of the original movie. Chris Pratt was also like training velociraptors at one of those, and things just kind of went haywire. The second one, which I just have bad memories of just hating outright. And then this one is directed by Colin Trevorrow. Yeah, he directed the first one, didn't do the second one, and came back for this one.
So he did the first one, which is
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the first one is fine. The fact is that at the time, I guess Bryce Dallas Howard, because that was like 2015 when that movie came out, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was directing stuff, but is nowhere to the point where she's at now. Like now she can just turn down everything and just say like, "Hey, I'm just going to stick to directing." She doesn't need to do this. But the writers are Emily Carmichael, Colin Trevorrow, Derek Connolly. It stars Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Laura Dern. Jeff Goldblum is in this, and also Sam Neill, who was in the original Jurassic Park. So there's a series of locust attacks.
Locusts.
Yes, locusts, like huge.
Are they Jurassic locusts? Like
Well,
dinosaur
the
locusts?
locusts have been amplified by some DNA, and people are trying to figure out why. So there's like this whole scene of like these kids on some wonderful farm somewhere, and then they just start seeing something black coming towards them, and it's just a series of locusts. Then there's also like a scene with like Chris Pratt. He's on basically on the prairie. Think of it just like if people were maybe in the late 1800s doing like buffalo or something or cows. He's roping dinosaurs. Why? I don't know. And then you go to Bryce Dallas Howard's character. So she and Chris Pratt are living together. They were love interests in the first movie, further along in the second movie. But I had to think back what was happening in that second movie because it was like that whole dinosaur black market. Then it was like some kid, and I'm like, who the heck is
Yeah,
that?
the little girl.
Yeah, so she shows back up. So Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, actress's name is Isabella Sermon, but Macy is the character's name. They're all living together out on the plains, and then they're hiding her because whatever organization are looking for her because there's something in her DNA that they do on the dinosaurs and on the locusts. So somebody kidnaps her maybe 15 minutes into the movie. Like she's just upset, like, I can't live my life and I'm just gonna get on my bike and ride. She runs off. She gets to a bridge. There's somebody that stops on the bridge and is like, hey, who are you? They kidnap her. Chris Pratt sees, tries to intercept them, and then fake fro. He and Bryce Dallas Howard is like trying to save dinosaurs again from the black market. He shows up with some information like, hey, well, this job I'm working for now has all this access to this stuff. This is where they had taken Macy. So that's kind of like the biggest thing. So the whole point of this is Locust and a little girl. So to ruin the whole thing is that Macy is a clone.
Right.
Of the doctor that she was trying to save herself from a disease. So she cloned herself. Somehow she ties into whatever organization that was creating the dinosaurs. There's a whole bunch of action scenes that go nowhere. And all the minority characters in this movie are just there facilitatory roles. They just give someone a piece of information in order to get them to the next part. Then there's a lot of bad acting in it. There's a lot of plot holes, and like there seemed like there might have been like some re-edits of this that things are happening, and it's like, all right, so character is here. Next scene, they're like somewhere else. Like, oh, how'd you get there? Like, how's that transition happening? The whole thing is supposed to lead up to now we just exist with dinosaurs. You can walk outside today and just see a pterodactyl just flying over the top of the sky, and you just continue going to work.
And that's just the world we live in.
Yeah, this is a movie obviously written in the past 2 years where everything has to have some type of activism in it.
Oh God, what's the activism in this?
It starts off with activism. She breaks into like a secure facility that kidnap or triceratops, ungodly amounts of information. Everything's found on the internet. But
Everything's found on the internet.
yeah. And the whole thing kind of leads up to there's two different groups. So you have Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Wanda Wise. They're like the new group. And then the old group is Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, and Laura Dern. And at some point, they meet up. Remarkable moment in Jurassic Park history. It'd be the equivalent, I guess, Finn, Ray, Kylo Ren meeting Han Solo, Leia, and Luke Skywalker.
So they have a big meetup or something like that? Or
yeah, eventually. So you just gotta have like two different groups doing two different things, but then eventually they meet up. It's like, oh, like you're Dr. Grant. Oh, you're Owen Grady. Am I supposed to care about this? No, I don't care about it because this is boring. Again, this movie's just long. It's very formulaic, and there's really no reason for this movie to exist other than that first movie made a bunch of money, which is the only reason why that second movie got made. What was that last Kong movie? Like, was it Godzilla versus Kong?
Yeah, it was Godzilla versus Kong. That was the last one.
Yeah, it just kind of reminded me, why am I watching this? This is just nonsense. Then you have Chris Pratt doing that whole thing, the meme from the first movie, where he's always holding his hand out to dinosaurs. Like,
Right.
Hey, this means stop. And he's doing it throughout the whole entire movie. I'm giving this movie a 0. This movie should not exist. Colin Trevorrow, you shouldn't be directing this. Bryce Dallas Howard, you shouldn't be starring in this. Your stock is much greater than the BS that this Universal movie has been put
Right.
out. Just story-wise, if there was like one of those B movies like pre-Jurassic Wally World, something like that, that's basically what it is.
God.
Yeah, so I'm giving this a 0. There's really no point.
Damn, 0?
Yeah, there's nothing redeeming about this.
Well, these full of special effects.
No. The time has kind of come for Jurassic Park. So it's Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, directed by terrible Joe Johnston, and then Jurassic World. They ran out of ideas and they just, hey, let's just have one big action scene. It just doesn't make sense any longer. Jurassic Park works best. One person's ideals meets hubris and things just go wrong. So just meaning that somebody who's well-meaning
Right.
creates something remarkable.
Right. There was no villain in original Jurassic Park. Nature going running amok. Everyone meant well, with the exception of Newman trying to steal the eggs and the embryos.
Yeah. That just works best when it is just that. Kind of the same thing with the Jurassic World. The reboot was more along the lines of that first movie.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start getting into these shadowy organizations trying to manipulate dinosaurs for their own profit type thing, again, starts to become the activism. It just doesn't really work. And also, B.D. Wong is in the movie, who was also in the first movie.
He hits the quotas right now.
Yeah. I just hope there's no longer any more Jurassic movies, even though this movie did well.
I unfortunately have to go see it. So
key thing, I'm not ruining it for you, but it's Locust and is all tying to the Macy person. And consequently, this movie has like a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, oddly enough, the first one had a 71%, and the second one has 47%. So you can see where this is going. You can see where it's going, Keith. so enjoy Jurassic World Dominion. Even the name doesn't have any sense. We live among the dinosaurs. That's the Beast Game Podcast.